Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am VC Pramod and with me is Abhijit Loring with the evening news. The headlines. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says no late fees will be levied on registered entities with nil GST return filing between July 2017 and January 2020. GST Council halves interest rate to 9% on delayed filing of GST returns for small taxpayers. Doubling rate of coronavirus cases in the country slows down to 17.4 days. Supreme Court issues notices to centre and different states on treatment of coronavirus patients in hospitals. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal says Atmanirbhar Bharat will prosper on basis of globally competitive domestic products. Home Secretary Ajay Bhalla writes to states and union territories to ensure seamless movement of essential goods on highways across the country. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said that no late fees will be levied on registered entities with nil GST return filing between July 2017 and January 2020. Briefing media after the 40th GST meeting in New Delhi today, Ms. Sitharaman said maximum late fee for non-filing of monthly GST sales returns for July 2017 to January 2020 is capped at 500 rupees.
For all those who have no tax liability but who have not filed their returns between July of 2017 and till January 2020, there won't be a late fee at all. The maximum late fee has been capped to 500 per return if there is tax liability.
The minister said the two decisions regarding late fee for non-filing of GST returns have been taken by the GST Council in order to clean up pendencies. In a relief to small taxpayers with turnover of up to 5 crore rupees, the GST Council halved the interest rate on delayed filing of GST returns for February, March and April to 9%, provided the returns are filed by September 2020.
Further relief is being offered for small taxpayers for late filing of returns for February, March and April 2020. The rate of interest for late furnishing of return for the said months beyond the specified date, which is 6th July 2020, the rate of interest is reduced from 18% to 9%.
Ms. Sitharaman said the deadline for filing returns for May, June and July has been extended till September without any interest or late fee. Ms. Sitharaman said during the meeting, GST Council also discussed impact of COVID-19. The minister said inverted duty structure hitting GST collections was also discussed and also inverted duty structure in textiles. Ms. Sitharaman said GST Council is looking at correction of duty inversion in footwear, fertilizers and textiles. The Finance Minister said a special one agenda meeting will take place in July to discuss the compensation requirement of states. She said discussion on taxing pan masala will hopefully be taken up at GST Council's next regular meeting. The recovery rate of COVID-positive cases continues to increase and currently stands at 49.47%. A total of 1,47,194 individuals have been cured, while 1,41,842 individuals are under active medical supervision. In the last 24 hours, over 6,000 individuals have recovered of COVID-19. The doubling rate continues to improve and has increased from 3.4 days at the beginning of the lockdown to 17.4 days currently. Cabinet Secretary today held a video conference with Chief Secretaries, Secretary Health and Secretary Urban Development of all the states. Union Health Ministry said states were advised to focus on containment, testing and tracing, health infrastructure, upgradation, case clinical management and community engagement for effective management of COVID-19. States were also asked to pay special attention to the emerging epicenters and undertake stringent containment measures to check the spread of the virus.
The Health Ministry has issued guidelines for officers on preventive measures to contain the spread of COVID-19. Only asymptomatic staff or visitors will be allowed. Their entry will be allowed if they are wearing masks. Mandatory sanitizer dispensers and thermal screening provisions at the entrance are to be made mandatory. There will be separate entry and exit for staff and visitors. There should be specific marking with sufficient distance for queue management and social distancing norms. There must be effective and frequent sanitation and also cleaning and regular disinfection. There must be safe disposal of face covers, masks and gloves. There must be air conditioning with temperature at 24 to 30 degrees Celsius and relative humidity of 40 to 70%. It asks to avoid frontline work and take extra precaution for high-risk employees such as older people and pregnant employees. Health Ministry said in religious places, footwear is to be taken off inside one's own vehicle and touching of statues, idols, holy book is not allowed. Shopping malls should take precautions while handling supplies and there must be thermal screening of staff for deliveries. Social distancing is a must within and outside shops, elevators and cafes. Gaming areas and cinema halls are to remain closed. Home Ministry has permitted certain more categories of foreign nationals, including overseas citizens of India, OCI card holders, to enter India. They include foreign nationals who are minor children where at least one of their parents is an Indian citizen or an OCI card holder, foreign nationals married to Indian citizens, foreign nationals who are single parents of minor children holding Indian passport, or OCI cards, and students who are foreign nationals where at least one of their parents is an Indian citizen or an OCI card holder. MHA has permitted dependent family members of foreign diplomats and official or service passport holding service staff accredited to foreign diplomatic missions, consular officers or accredited international organizations in India to enter India.
Union Home Secretary Ajay Bhalla has written to Chief Secretaries of all states and union territories to ensure seamless movement of essential goods on the highways across the country. Referring to the nationwide night curfew imposed by the government between 9 in the night till 5 in the morning, he said the guidelines are strictly meant to prohibit non-essential movement of individuals throughout the country. He asserted that the restriction does not apply to instances of loading or unloading of goods as part of the supply chains. Movement of buses carrying passengers are also allowed to ply without any restriction. Mr. Bhalla added that the state governments should facilitate movement of trucks and goods carriers plying on state and national highways, along with the movement of persons travelling to their destinations after disembarking from buses, trains and flights. The Supreme Court today directed that no coercive action should be taken till the last week of July against private companies which have failed to pay full wages to their employees during the coronavirus-induced lockdown period. The court said industries and employees need each other and they should sit together to arrive at a settlement on the issue of payment of wages. The bench asked the state governments to facilitate such settlement process and file its report with the labour commissioners concerned. It also asked the centre to file an additional affidavit within 4 weeks with regard to the legality of the March 29 circular of the Ministry of Home Affairs, which had mandated payment of full wages during the lockdown period. The bench posted the matter to last week of July for further hearing.
The Apex Court today issued notices to centre and different states on the treatment of coronavirus patients in hospitals. The court sought responses from them on its plea taking suo motu cognizance on the treatment being meted out to patients and the handling of the bodies. The court issued notices to the centre, Maharashtra, West Bengal and Tamil Nadu. The Apex Court termed as horrific the state of affairs in Delhi hospitals with bodies being stacked next to COVID-19 patients. The top court said hospitals are not giving due care to keeping up bodies and not even informing family members about deaths. As a result, they are unable to attend the last rites. It said that the guidelines of central government are not being followed and directed the chief secretaries of the states to take stock of patient management system and submit status report regarding hospital staff and patient care. Delhi Health Minister Satyendra Jain today said that the lockdown imposed as a precautionary measure to contain the spread of COVID-19 will not be extended in the national capital. Mr. Jain was replying to media queries. Delhi has over 34,000 virus cases and 1,085 deaths.
Delhi Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal today discussed strategies for containment zone management to control COVID-19 in the national capital with Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and other senior officials. Mr. Baijal advised field officers to focus on proper delineation, strict perimeter control, intensified IEC active house-to-house surveillance with special focus on high-risk population for their effective management as per the central government guidelines. Those who attended the meeting include Delhi Chief Secretary, Delhi Police Commissioner, representative of the Home Ministry, district magistrates, DCPs and other officers. During the meeting, discussion was held on Health Department strategies to increase availability of beds in Delhi to cater to the rising requirement. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath inaugurated the TrueNat machines installed in hospitals of all 75 districts and 6 medical colleges of the state this evening. On this occasion, Chief Minister said that the state is fighting against this deadly virus with full capacity and will try to break the chain of corona at every level. He said the installation of these machines at every district is also part of this effort. We have a report.
These machines will provide result of suspected corona patients in just 1 hour, and each machine can test 20 to 25 samples in a day. The TrueNat machines installed at each and every district of a state will help in emergency treatment of non-COVID patients, and with the help of them, ANC, pre-surgical and severe acute respiratory infections, SARI cases will be tested at all districts now. When there will be no COVID test, then this machine will help in testing of tuberculosis also. Meanwhile, there are 4,642 active cases of corona patients in the state, while 7,609 patients have been discharged after proper recovery. The recovery rate of COVID patients in the state is 63%, which is much higher than the national average. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
The Maharashtra government today refuted rumours that it plans to reimpose lockdown across the state. In a tweet, Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray said no such decision has been made. Asking people not to believe in rumours, Mr. Thackeray urged people to remain indoors as much as possible. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has said media outlets must refrain from broadcasting unverified news and avoid creating confusion in the minds of people. Mr. Thackeray said the government is easing lockdown in phases to restart the economy. He, however, added that lifting of restrictions does not mean unnecessary crowding and violating discipline of physical distancing and hygiene. As coronavirus cases stand almost in breach of 1 lakh mark in Maharashtra, the state government has asked citizens to strictly follow all the guidelines being issued regularly. Meanwhile, in some positive news, Mumbai Civic Body has informed that as many as 126 cancer patients who had contracted the infection have now recovered. Nisha Rani, AIR News, Mumbai.
Kerala continues to report a rise in coronavirus cases with 78 new positive cases being confirmed today, including 1 death. A report.
Out of the new cases, 36 are returnees from abroad and 31 persons returned from other states. The number of deaths due to COVID in Kerala rose to 19 today. A total of 32 persons recovered from the disease. Presently, the total active cases in the state rose to 1,303. As the COVID cases are rising in the state, the authorities informed that the devotees will not be allowed in the famous Guruvayur temple from tomorrow. Meanwhile, under Vande Bharat mission, 6 flights from Gulf region are carrying nearly 1,250 passengers to Kochi today, and 3 flights are carrying expatriates to Kannur. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
Puducherry Health Minister Malladi Krishna Rao said that an 82-year-old man from Mudaliarapet area who was being treated in Government Medical College for COVID-19 succumbed to the disease last night. With this death, the toll in Puducherry increased to 3. More from a correspondent.
While interacting with the media persons, Minister Rao said that 6 more persons were reported positive for coronavirus in Puducherry today. Of the 6 persons tested positive, 4 patients were admitted to the Government Medical College, 1 to Jipmer and 1 to Karaikal Government General Hospital. Minister Rao further added that at present, 163 persons were infected by the virus, and of which 76 were treated and discharged. 3 died and 84 active cases are treated in hospitals. Chandramohan, AIR News, Puducherry.
The Tamil Nadu government has appointed senior IAS officer Dr. J. Radhakrishnan as the new Health Principal Secretary. Earlier, he held the post of State Revenue Principal Secretary, which will be looked after by him with additional charge. Dr. Radhakrishnan replaces Dr. Bila Raj, who has been shifted to the Commercial Taxes and Registration Department. The change comes in the wake of an unrelenting surge in the COVID-19 cases in the state. For Dr. Radhakrishnan, this is a comeback to the Health Department, as he was in the post prior to his transfer to the Revenue Department in October last year. Meanwhile, the total COVID-19 infection cases in Tamil Nadu has crossed the 40,000 mark. 1,982 new cases have been recorded today, taking the total to 40,698. 18 patients lost the battle against the disease, bringing the total fatalities in the state to 367. Our correspondent has filed this report.
Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy has clarified that there is no move to further tighten the lockdown in Chennai. Unauthentic reports were making round in the state that, due to the surging number of COVID-19 cases in Chennai, a more stringent lockdown is being contemplated. When asked about it in a press meet at Salem today, the Chief Minister said it is a wild rumor and action will be initiated against those responsible for spreading the fake news. He also said the date of reopening of schools in the state will be decided only after the centre comes out with a set of guidelines on the subject. Jai Singh, AR News, Chennai.
In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of the leading medical experts on COVID-19. Head of Neurosciences Centre at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences in New Delhi, Dr. M.V. Padma, has said that people need to stay home to stay safe and break the chain of transmission of COVID-19.
A virus has invaded our earth. It has invaded us. And there are zillion concerns. There are concerns about our survival, about food, about education, about career, about profession, about our movements. But these are questions for the first time in 3 generations that we are facing. But they're of relevance only if we are alive. To stay alive, stay home.
Associate Professor Medicine at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences in Delhi, Dr. Neeraj Nishchal, spoke about why it is essential to follow advisories.
It has been seen that those who have or may have COVID-19 are being shamed publicly. When this disease does not discriminate, then why should we? Most of COVID-19 disease patients will get cured and return safely to their homes within 2 weeks. Let's fight the disease and not the disease. As a member of civilized society, it's our responsibility to help fellow citizens in their hour. So stop stigmatizing and start empathizing.
The News Services Division of All India Radio and its bilingual live phone-in program tonight will bring you a special discussion program on COVID-19. Dr. Balbir Singh, senior physician from Max Hospital, will participate in the discussion. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. Listeners can ask questions to the experts on toll-free telephone number 1800-115767. Veteran Urdu poet Anand Mohan Zuchi Gulzar Dehlvi passed away this afternoon at his residence in Noida. He was 93. A freedom fighter and a premier Inqilabi poet, Dehlvi was admitted to a private hospital on the 1st of this month after testing positive for coronavirus. His son Anup Zuchi said his corona test came negative on the 7th of June and he was brought home. He said today he had lunch and at around 2:30 p.m. he passed away. Born in Old Delhi's Gali Kashmiriya in 1926, he was also the editor of Science Ki Dunya, the first Urdu science magazine published by Government of India in 1975.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says no late fees will be levied on registered entities with nil GST return filing between July 2017 and January 2020. GST Council halves interest rate to 9% on delayed filing of GST returns for small taxpayers. Doubling rate of coronavirus cases in the country slows down to 17.4 days. Supreme Court issues notices to centre and different states on the treatment of coronavirus patients in hospitals. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal says Atmanirbhar Bharat will prosper on the basis of global competitive domestic products, and Home Secretary Ajay Bhalla writes to states and union territories to ensure seamless movement of essential goods on highways across the country. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
अपने साथ अपनों का ध्यान रखो, बड़े बुजुर्गों का तुम ध्यान रखो, दो बात करो, कुछ मदद करो, कोरोना के चलते याद रखो, घर की सफाई ना भूलना, हाथों को धोना मत भूलना, सुरक्षित दादा दादी नाना नानी अभियान, अपने साथ अपनों का ध्यान.
Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal reviewed the performance of the Quality Council of India QCI today through video conferencing. He said Atmanirbhar Bharat will prosper on the basis of quality domestic products which can be globally competitive. Lauding the QCI for growing exponentially in the last few years, Mr. Goyal said the real challenge and opportunity for it lies in the post-COVID era. The minister emphasized on the fact that the quality evaluation and certification should be rational, transparent, reliable and free from any manipulation. More than 22,800 metric tons of food grains have been distributed to 45.62 lakh beneficiaries in the month of May and June under the Atmanirbhar Bharat package. Over 2,000 metric tons gram have also been distributed by states and union territories to the needy people. Since lockdown, a total of more than 245 lakh metric tons have been transported. Under the Atmanirbhar Bharat package, government has announced that free food grains will be provided to about 8 crore migrant labourers and needy families.
The Defence Ministry has extended by 4 months the delivery period for all existing capital acquisition contracts with the Indian vendors due to supply chain disruptions arising out of the COVID-19 situation. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has approved an order to this effect today. Our correspondent reports, according to the order, force majeure shall be applicable for a period of 4 months from 25th March 2020 to 24th July 2020. Vice Admiral Biswajit Das Gupta today assumed the charge as Chief of Staff, Eastern Naval Command, Visakhapatnam. Biswajit Das Gupta is an alumnus of National Defence Academy. He was commissioned into the Indian Navy in 1985 and is a specialist in navigation and direction. He has commanded 4 frontline ships, including the missile corvettes INS Nishank, INS Karmuk, Stealth Frigate INS Tabar, and the aircraft carrier INS Virat. Pakistani troops resorted to unprovoked ceasefire violations along the line of control in Baramulla district in Jammu and Kashmir this morning. The defence spokesperson said Pakistan Army shelled mortars along the LOC in the Rampur sector of Uri. Indian Army guarding the fence retaliated befittingly. A woman was killed in cross LOC shelling in Uri. Some civilian structures have also been damaged in the shelling. Meanwhile, Sub-Divisional Magistrate of Uri, Rayaz Ahmed, visited the border area in Hajipur sector to take stock of the prevailing situation arising out of continued cross-LOC shelling. Keeping in view the overall situation, the SDM evacuated about 18 families belonging to Silkot and other adjoining villages to safer places. The Sub-Divisional Magistrate said that administration has geared up all the preparations in case of any exigency.
Union Minister of State for Development of Northeastern Region, Dr. Jitendra Singh, today advised to set up e-office in all 8 northeastern states in a stipulated time frame. Addressing a webinar, Dr. Singh said e-office project will fulfill the vision of Prime Minister of minimum government, maximum governance and will ensure ease of administration, transparency and citizen-centric delivery mechanism. He said e-office project is an important pillar of Digital India and so far 55 ministries have implemented it. News just in. India today reiterated its commitment to partnering Tanzania in its development journey. Prime Minister Narendra Modi assured this to Tanzanian President Dr. John Pombe Joseph Magufuli. Prime Minister warmly recalled his July 2016 visit to Dar es Salaam and stressed on the importance that India attaches to its traditionally friendly ties with Tanzania during a telephonic talk with Dr. Magufuli. The Prime Minister thanked President Dr. Magufuli for the assistance provided by the Tanzanian authorities for evacuation of Indian citizens from Tanzania in the wake of COVID-19. The leaders reviewed the overall bilateral relationship. They expressed satisfaction at the growing development partnership, educational linkages and trade and investment flows between India and Tanzania and discussed possibilities of further accelerating these trends.
Union Minister for Labour and Employment Santosh Kumar Gangwar has emphasized the need for collective efforts by all stakeholders towards eradication of child labour. He said that children are an integral part of any country and they need to be empowered with protection of their rights. The minister was addressing a webinar to mark the World Day Against Child Labour. Mr. Gangwar said amendment in the Child Labour Prohibition and Regulation Amendment Act 2016 is a noteworthy achievement of the government. Southwestern monsoon is likely to reach Gujarat in the next 48 hours. Talking to AIR, scientist at the India Meteorological Department IMD, Manorama Mohanty said, conditions are favourable for the progress of the monsoon and it is likely to reach South Gujarat within the next 48 hours. Our correspondent reports that pre-monsoon showers continued in some parts of the state even today.
As per the State Emergency Operations Center, rainfall was reported in around 37 tehsils of the state till 6 p.m. today. The highest 40 mm rain was witnessed at Manavadar Tehsil in Junagadh. Parts of Banaskantha district also received heavy downpour. Several parts of Saurashtra, including Amreli, Junagadh and Gir Somnath districts, received rainfall about 10 am today. Following the pre-monsoon showers, farmers in Saurashtra have begun sowing of cotton and groundnuts. Farmers are hopeful of good monsoon this year. Aparna Khun, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
A state-of-the-art integrated flood warning system for Mumbai was jointly inaugurated by Union Earth Sciences Minister Dr. Harshvardhan and Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray. iFlows Mumbai will help the city to become more resilient as the authorities will have an estimation of flood inundation at the ward level at least 3 days in advance. It will be especially useful for low-lying areas from where people need to be evacuated. Our correspondent reports that the system will also forecast the rainfall in each pocket.
The Ministry of Earth Sciences has given a special protective cover for Mumbaikars considering the request of Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai. The MCGM had approached the Ministry of Earth Sciences to develop the warning system which can prevent or at least mitigate flooding in the city. The iFlows Mumbai is developed using the ministry's in-house expertise and is expected to enhance Mumbai's resilience by providing early warning for flooding, especially during high rainfall events and cyclones. iFlows comprises of 7 modules. The system has provisions to capture the urban drainage within the city and predict the areas of flooding, which will be incorporated in the final system. Shailesh Patil, AIR News, Mumbai.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will witness minimum temperatures of 30 degrees Celsius and maximum 42 degrees Celsius with partly cloudy sky with possibility of development of thunder and lightning. Mumbai will witness generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. The minimum temperature will be 23 degrees Celsius and maximum temperature will be 30 degrees Celsius. In the south, Chennai will see generally cloudy sky with light rain. The temperature will hover between 28 and 35 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will witness generally cloudy sky with few spells of rain or thunder showers. On to the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature will be 25 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while maximum will be around 37 degrees Celsius. In Srinagar, the minimum temperature will be 12 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 29 degrees. The city will face partly cloudy skies with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. In Gilgit, the temperature will hover between 16 and 35 degrees Celsius with partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. In Muzaffarabad, there will be mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Chandigarh will witness generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. In Dehradun, the temperature will hover between 25 and 34 degrees Celsius with partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm.
Union Minister of State for Chemicals and Fertilizers Mansukh Mandavia today held a review meeting on the progress of revival of 5 fertilizer plants through video conferencing. The plants include Hindustan Urvarak and Rasayan Limited HURL located at Gorakhpur, Barauni and Sindri, Ramagundam Fertilizers and Chemicals Limited RFCL and Talcher Fertilizers Limited TFL. Mr. Mandavia directed the concerned authorities to take all possible steps for early completion of the projects. In stock and bullion markets news today, Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange rose by 243 points to close at 33,781. Similarly, the Nifty at the National Stock Exchange settled 71 points up at 9,973.
And now, before we end, the headlines once again. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says no late fees will be levied on registered entities with nil GST return filing between July 2017 and January 2020. GST Council halves interest rate to 9% on delayed filing of GST returns for small taxpayers. Doubling rate of coronavirus cases in the country slows down to 17.4 days. Supreme Court issues notices to centre and different states on treatment of coronavirus patients in hospitals. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal says Atmanirbhar Bharat will prosper on basis of globally competitive domestic products. Home Secretary Ajay Bhalla writes to states and union territories to ensure seamless movement of essential goods on highways across the country. And with that, we end the evening news.